Hey guys, it's the year 2015 and I want to try to do something a bit different this time with my movie reviews. I've seen a lot of movies in the year 2014 and I want to do a review on every single movie I watch. I just don't have time. I really don't have time. So instead of going into full detail on every single movie I watch, I decided to spend 5 to 10 minutes on reviewing on each movie, and also each video will have 2 movie reviews. So the length is going to be from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. So I decided that would be the best format for now. The only times I will break the format is if there's a movie I really like and it feels like I'm going to spend more than 15 minutes talking about it, or a movie I really hate and I want you to share in my misery and pain. So let's start off with 2 movies in 2014 that I really didn't like. Yeah, Frankenstein. Even though the Frankenstein monster is made of different body parts from different people, he is handsome and have rock-hard abs. Sure, he has scars, but no chick or gay man would think that Aaron Eckhart looks like a monster. Seriously, this Frankenstein monster, who is known as Frankenstein or Adam, looks like a model. Besides the scars, there are no imperfections. I feel like Dr. Frankenstein used one body who happens to look like Aaron Eckhart, opened him up, and stitched them together. No offense to Aaron, but this shows how lazy this movie really is. I knew Frankenstein would be a bad movie, but I was hoping for it to be a fun bad movie. A movie that knows it's bad and has a stupid but interesting premise, but it tries to make it fun. But this movie is just bad, stupid, and for the most part, boring. How can a movie with the Frankenstein monster, I mean Adam, fighting demons and gargoyles be so damn boring? It's only 90 minutes long! The terrible CGI and the makeup doesn't help. They are laughably bad, and it looks like they didn't have time or the budget to finish the effects. All the demons aren't CG'd, which I admit is kind of refreshing, but they look extremely goofy. The makeup effects look like they're from the 1990s direct-to-DVD horror movies. Bill Nighy as the final boss demon looks ridiculous! I hated Dracula from Van Helsing, but even he looks slightly more badass than Demon Bill. And I like Bill! The story is the exact same from the Underworld movies. Humans coexist with 2 different kinds of monsters. In the Underworld series, it's vampires and werewolves. Here is gargoyles and demons. Adam is the only living proof that humans can be resurrected, so the 2 factions of monsters fight over him. Adam doesn't want any of this, so he fights off both factions to save himself, and later on during the movie, the human race. Mostly because he wants to bang Yvonne Strahovski, but I don't blame him. Speaking of which, it would have been funny if they explained that Victor Frankenstein picked the biggest penis out of the corpses so he could stitch it on Adam. Anyway, Adam then sides with the gargoyles in the end to fight off Bill Nighy and the demons and save mankind from an army of Frankensteins. Seriously, an army of Frankensteins. This reminds me a bit of the story from Van Helsing. In Van Helsing, Dracula needed the Frankenstein monster to resurrect his vampire babies, so they can take over the world with the Dracula baby army. Man, this movie is lazy. It had to steal the plot from Van Helsing? I do like the idea when gargoyles died, they ascend into heaven, and when demons died, they descend into hell. It was a cool effect every time they died. However, I felt like I should be playing Bayonetta or Devil May Cry instead of watching this movie. Bill Nighy plays the main villain, and even though he's hamming it up, he is not as intimidating as he was in Underworld or Pirates of the Caribbean. Yvonne Strahovski, aka Sarah from Chuck, barely does anything in the movie. She's sadly there only to look hot and be a damsel in distress. That's sad because she can act and is able to look badass. But the movie doesn't take advantage of that. You can just replace her with a cardboard cutout. She's still one of my favorite choices to playing Supergirl though. Jai Courtney is not having much luck in movies lately. So far, the best movie I've seen him in is Jack Reacher. Every other movie I've seen him in sucks! Hopefully he does very well as Kyle Reese in Terminator Genisys. I really like this actor. Too bad here he plays a gargoyle who's an asshole to Adam and fights him for no reason other than not liking him. He dies about 2/3 into the movie. Poor Jai Courtney. So far he can only play assholes who die. I wouldn't care much about the almost non-existent story if the action is at least good, but the action is dull. Sure, there are shots of Aaron Eckhart looking badass, but that's only if he's fighting humans or human-looking demons. The terrible CGI and makeup for the gargoyles and demons make the movie look like a PS2 cutscene. At least the environments look sorta nice. The gothic architecture plus the comic book look to them can look impressive at times. If only there are no real people in them. The green screen looks terrible. The best thing of the movie is Aaron Eckhart. He really gives his all. He looks and acts badass. He shows how tortured his version of the monster is, despite that he's a very handsome looking guy. He is honestly the most human out of all the characters. Too bad he's wasted in the movie. I want to say watch the movie for Aaron, but that means you'll waste 90 minutes of your life. Overall, the movie was shit. Terrible effects, terrible CGI, terrible makeup, terrible story, terrible waste of good actors, and most of all, boring! 90 minutes of boredom and stupidity. It's an Underworld ripoff that just happens to be from the creators of the Underworld series. If the creators really wanted to make this into a franchise, unfortunately for them, this so-called franchise is going to stay dead. At least the explosion and destruction in the final action scene kinda looks cool. Transcendence. This is the directorial debut of Wally Pfister, and the best thing about Transcendence is that it looks nice. It's shot very well and the effects look good. That's it. Not even the talented cast can save this boring-ass movie. First off, the ending is shown at the beginning of the movie. Johnny Depp and Rebecca Hall are dead, there is no technology, it's like the Dark Ages again, and Paul Bettany looks at sunflowers which signify that Johnny Depp and Rebecca Hall are resurrected as sunflowers. Yeah. That's the beginning of this movie, which is also the ending. After that, I was wondering, why do I even need to watch the movie if I know what was going to happen? I should have just stopped watching after that. Johnny Depp plays a genius scientist who's trying to improve AI. He gets shot by a terrorist group called Rift because they think he's a madman who must be stopped. The beginning of this movie showed Rift killing many innocent people by blowing them up or poisoning them. They poisoned frickin' cake! The only reason why Morgan Freeman is alive in the beginning is because he didn't eat the poison cake! This terrorist group, by the way, are supposed to be the heroes of the movie, and Johnny Depp is supposed to be the main villain. And that's the biggest problem. If Rip didn't do what they did and left Johnny Depp alone, then this movie would not have existed. Depp is just a normal guy with lots of ideas to help not only improve technology but human lives. He's not a madman who wants to be God. Even when he's dying, all he cares about is spending the rest of his life with Rebecca Hall. He gave up work immediately. The only reason why he decided to upload his consciousness into a supercomputer is because his wife wants it. None of this would have happened if he did get shot with a poison bullet. Why a poison bullet? The terrorist group was willing to kill many people with bombs and poison, but they sent one guy who couldn't shoot Johnny Depp in the frickin' head. Why didn't they just blow up the building with Johnny Depp in it? They didn't think that Paul Bettany or Rebecca Hall will continue the research? This is fucking stupid! AI Johnny Depp later surfs the internet because he wants more information and power. He soon knows everything there is and wants to expand. So Rebecca Hall is on the run and goes to a ghost town so a facility can be built for Johnny Depp. Paul Bettany gets captured by Rift, led by Kate Mara, who is future Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four reboot. Damn, she's so dull in this movie, but I can't put all the blame on her. Almost everyone in this movie is dull. You have Rebecca Hall, Cillian Murphy, Paul Bettany, and Morgan Freeman, but they are all dull. They don't even seem human. The only person who is showing some human emotion is Johnny Depp. He cares about his wife. He cares about people. Sure, that whole thing with putting nanobites into people so everyone is connected to him is kind of creepy, but he actually wanted to heal people. He's made a guy who's blind finally able to see. He healed Clifton Collins Jr. He gives people super strength and super healing. This guy is of course the bad guy. Only bad guys want to heal people. In the end, he dies along with Rebecca Hall, which proves that AI Johnny Depp is the same Johnny Depp from the beginning of the movie, because of his death from a virus that stops all technology throughout the world. So Rift, good job! You won! No technology! Everyone goes back to the Dark Ages! Innocent people died for this, and perhaps even more innocent people died since all technology can't work. Anybody think about people on airplanes, ships, trains, and cars at that specific moment when technology doesn't exist anymore? This is basically the ending to the world's end. Oh, I wish Simon Pegg and Nick Frost were in this movie. At least the movie would be fun! Actually, this movie is kind of similar to the world's end. Humans are being replaced with sentient beings that can't feel pain or suffering, and they're all interconnected. Simon Pegg is a rebel who believes that the human race should fight for humanity, and in the end, technology becomes useless and it's like the Dark Ages. You know what? Go watch The World's End instead! Besides the whole nanobite sharing Johnny Depp's consciousness, there's nothing that shows that Johnny Depp is a bad guy. We have to root for the terrorists because the movie told us to. They killed innocent people. If Rift didn't do shit, then this movie would not have happened. They are against technology, yet they use technology to kill people. What the hell is up with that? I didn't understand why Morgan Freeman, Cillian Murphy, and Paul Bettany decided to team up with the terrorists. Morgan Freeman keeps saying that, oh, if Johnny Depp has his way, it'll be the end of mankind. AI Johnny Depp doesn't kill people or use his army to take over the world, yet people think he's mad. He stops people, sure, but he doesn't hurt them, kill them, or put them under his mind control. Hell, everyone against AI Johnny Depp blows shit up. They get people killed. They hurt Rebecca Hall at one point. At some point in the movie, Rebecca Hall sided with the terrorists because she thinks AI Johnny Depp isn't the real Johnny Depp. I didn't get this part also. He pretends to eat dinner with her so she can feel normal. And he keeps asking her whatever is wrong so he can understand her. Hell, he made a new Johnny Depp body for her so she wouldn't be alone and he can finally be with her again and he's able to touch her again. He wants to feel human again. Surely he's an asshole. If the movie shows Johnny Depp being a madman who wants to rule the world or become Skynet, then I understand why the terrorists want to stop him. But this movie doesn't show any of that. This movie barely has any action and none of the dialogue is interesting. Talented cast got nothing to work with. The only positive things about the movie are that it looks great and Johnny Depp isn't playing an eccentric character that's a different version of Jack Sparrow. It has a couple of interesting ideas, but it doesn't really do much with it. Everything else is boring as hell. Skip this movie, go watch The World's End, or even Lawnmower Man. And that's how I feel about the boring movies of 2014. Write down in the comments below if you've seen the movies. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Let me know. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, there's an annotation for subscribing. So until next time, guys, see you later and thank you for watching.